welcome to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, real talk, real solutions. The podcast where we cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of living with Hashimoto's. My name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, your host, and I'm here to share my expertise, personal insights, and from time to time, conversations with incredible guests to help you take control of your health. Together, we'll explore actionable items, debunk myths, and navigate the complexities of your thyroid health. So whether you're newly diagnosed or a seasoned warrior, this is your space for unfiltered truth and real hope. Let's dive in. All right, let's get to work today. Okay, what I want to talk about, as you can see from the title of this, and again, most of the topics that I want to discuss are just from you guys, like questions I get all the time, things that people post in the group all the time, questions I get on email or messaging or private messages or whatever. And it is, why doesn't my doctor know this? Like all this stuff that you do and all this stuff you do with your patients and all the stuff that you teach us and all the information you have posted in the Facebook group and like all the knowledge you have and like you've been doing this for a long time. Like, how come you know all this and like no other doctors do? Especially like in mainstream medicine. Like primary care doc, even endocrinologists. So you guys all the time, I see you're just like, I don't understand. Like I thought I was supposed to go to my endocrinologist. They're the expert. They didn't know anything. They didn't do anything. They didn't help me at all. And I hear that nonstop. I meet with you guys all the time. You've been to a million doctors and no one's helping you with the problem, right? To treat it and to get it better. So I get that question all the time. Like, how come you're like the only one on the planet that seems to know what they're doing here? And, there's a couple of reasons for it, and I want to just touch on some of them today, and then we'll get right to Q&A questions. Anybody's got them. There's a couple of reasons for it, and I actually have a handout that I'm going to be kind of reading from, referencing while we're going through this, and I'll share this handout under this video. I'll attach this. It's an article, with references, with the where this stuff comes from. I don't make this stuff out of thin air. I have references and all that kind of stuff. And it's an article where they reference a bunch of different doctors, right? And the title of the article is, Why Doesn't My Endocrinologist Know All of This? How come they don't know this, what you know? I'll read a little bit. I'll interject my own insights as well. This is probably going to make sense to a lot of you guys. Like when I go through the reasons why, you'll probably be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's unfortunate that richest country in the world, healthcare is like a third of our economy, for gosh sakes. And we're falling short with people, helping people, especially with chronic medical conditions, like everyone who I see, the chronic stuff, the acute stuff. You get a broken bone, an infection, car accident, heart attack. Great. Western medicine is probably going to save your life and your limbs and all that other kind of stuff. But when it comes to this chronic stuff, they just drop the ball all the time. So the first paragraph of this article, there's been significant concern by healthcare organizations and medical experts that physicians are placing too much reliance on consensus statements and failing to learn new information presented in medical journals. They lack the ability to translate new information into treatments for their patients. Now, this article was from a long time ago too. This article was from like 10 years ago. So this is not new, right? And we're still dealing with these issues now. Okay, so they interviewed a couple of medical doctors. This one, Dr. L'Enfant, it might be French, his first name's Claude, director of National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. And he says that and I have this stuff in bold, so I'll post this, and you guys can have access to it. Very few physicians learn about new discoveries from reading medical journals or attending scientific conferences. Thus, they lack the ability to translate new knowledge in their field into enhanced treatments for their patients. He states that a review of past medical discoveries reveals how excruciatingly slow the medical establishment is to adopt novel or new concepts, noting that even simple methods to improve medical quality are often met with fierce resistance. So nobody wants to change the status quo, especially when it is big business. We're joking around inside the group today. Thank you, everyone, for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That was awesome. I appreciate it. And no sooner than that happened, than an hour later, I got the email that one of my videos got pulled, which has been on that channel for 8 years. That video is old. I did that video a long time ago. But a rush of subscribers all of a sudden, and it perked up the YouTube bots, and they started looking through my stuff, and they were like, "Well, we don't like this one. We're taking it down." So anything dissenting, you guys have seen it over the last couple of years. Any dissenting opinions medically, or even when they're backed up by fact, met with fierce resistance for sure. Dr. Lafont goes on to explain that even though, so research shows this, that even though doctors and physicians claim that they keep up with the most relevant medical literature, they do not. So they say they do, but they don't. Enormous amounts of new knowledge barreling down the information highway, but they are not arriving at the doorsteps of our patients. Dr. Schenkel from the University of California, Irvine. Most doctors are practicing 10 to 20 years. It's probably maybe even longer. Practicing 10 to 20 years behind the available medical literature. Practicing 10 to 20 years behind available current medical literature. And they continue to practice what they learned in medical school. So there's a breakdown in the transfer of the information from the research to the overwhelming majority of practicing physicians. So it's not getting there. Doctors are claiming they're keeping up with it, and they're not. So they're not changing what they do. I mean, gosh, guys, we're talking about thyroid disease, hypothyroidism. Hashimoto's is the number one cause by far. 90% of hypothyroidism in the United States is autoimmune. 90%. It's like all of it. And we've known this for a very long time. I have a research article in here from 1988 that states that. Hashimoto's has been around for a long time. It was identified in the 20s. Gang, we're still not treating it. It's still not being treated in medicine. They're still just treating the hypothyroidism with Synthroid or levothyroxine or whatever. Those medications have been around forever. We've been doing that same treatment. We've been treating, it's the only treatment. We've been treating hypothyroidism with hormone replacement since like the 50s, like forever. It's not changed. I'm here to change it, but I'm only one guy. You guys are helping. That's why we're building an army here, right? But come on. That's why no one's getting better. We're not, like, it's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It's not going to work. It's not working. It hasn't worked for a very long time. So why aren't we changing? Dr. Smith goes on to say, this is Dr. Sidney Smith, the former president of the American Heart Association. And he published this in 2003. Doctors discount new research because it's not what they've been taught or practiced. They refuse to admit that what they've been doing or thinking for many years may not be the best medicine. So all you hear about is research, evidence-based medicine. They're not doing it. They're saying they are and they want to do it, and nobody's doing it. A review published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that there is clearly a problem of physicians not seeking to advance their knowledge by reviewing current literature, believing proper care is what they learned in medical school or residency, and not basing their treatments on the most current research. Not here. That's what we're doing here. I'm changing things daily to help you guys get better. The lag between the discovery of more effective forms of treatment and their incorporation into routine patient care averages 17 years. 17 years. That means if you get diagnosed with something that could be treated now at 70 years old, there's a good chance you might die before that treatment even makes it to being used in doctors' offices. 17 years, guys, is the average lag time between discovering new treatments and incorporating them into patient care. Unless, of course, it's a pharmaceutical. Then we'll get that thing done in 6 months. And we don't even know what it's going to do to people. Sorry, couldn't help. That was me interjecting. That wasn't in the article. Current insurance, and here you go, another point, right? Current insurance reimbursement system in the United States fosters this thinking because the worst doctors on the planet are financially rewarded by insurance companies, right? Think about this. This is an insurance-based medical system. This is why people come to me, they get results. Look, sure, it's not covered by insurance. You might have to pay out of pocket, but you're going to get better. And we'll figure out a way to make it affordable. We're an insurance-based, pharmaceutically based medical system, right? So it's insurance. So you go to your doctor, it's fee for service, right? The fact that you visited your doctor can submit a claim and get paid for that office visit. whether you got better from that visit or that treatment or not. You probably got worse. You might have got worse. But that's not how it works. The doctor's gonna, you were there. You might have been there for 5 minutes, but you were there. You saw the doctor, the grand poobah, and he can send a bill into the insurance company and get paid. He's going to get paid whether he's a good doctor or a bad doctor, whether you get better or not, he gets paid. So what incentive does he have to keep up with stuff and provide better treatments to his patients? He doesn't. I tell people, look, you come to me. Sure, we got to do treatment. It's not covered by insurance. It's going to be out of pocket. But guess what? That keeps me sharp. I got to earn your trust. I got to earn your care. And for you to stay with me, I got to keep getting you better, and I got to work real hard at it. It keeps me accountable. And honestly, when people have to pay for care, it keeps them accountable too, right? Because it's like, hey, I got to come out of my pocket for this. Like, I'm going to do that. I got to do this. I got to get better. I got to do what he's telling me to do. That's not how it works in medicine though, right? You show up at your doctor's office, whether you got better or not, he's getting paid, or she. The study found that the majority of individuals received substandard, poor quality care, and there was no significant difference among different income levels, whether or not the individual was covered by insurance. Nuts, right? Now, pharmaceutical companies, right? Physicians are rarely monitored as to whether or not they actually showed up for lectures or went skiing instead when they go to these conferences. And they're organized by medical societies. They're sponsored by pharmaceutical companies. There's a lot of money flying around here. Nobody's caring about getting their patients better, right? It's a paycheck. I got a boat payment to make. Like, I need to get paid. You know what I mean? I mean, look, I'm not trying to be super cynical. This is just the reality of it all, right? Healthcare is big business. And, there's no incentive for the doctor to help you get better or to stay up on this stuff and to stay cutting edge. Because it doesn't matter if he's not getting paid based on whether you get better or not. It's a reality, right? Just the way it is. So there's a couple reasons why, right? Physicians are not staying up with current medical literature, even though they say they are, and they're not implementing it. There's a gigantic delay in implementing something. Our medical system is pharmaceutically based, so they're just going to give a pill for a symptom anyway. And it's insurance based. So there's no incentive for the doctors to do a better job at helping you because they're going to get paid whether you get better or not just for you showing up. That's why your doctor, your endocrinologist doesn't know any of this. They're practicing medicine that they learned in school. They're very resistant to learning new things and implementing them. Even when they do learn new things, it takes a really long time for it to actually be implemented in practice, unless it's a pharmaceutical. They have no financial incentive to learn more and get better to help you better. That's it, gang. That's the bottom line. That doesn't fly in my world. I'm working every day. You see all these silly things on the wall. It's because it's all continuing education, right? I got to keep going and learning and keeping up with like what's new with the natural treatments and dietary work and supplements and all this kind of stuff. What can I do? What are the things that I can do to better serve and help my patients? Because I don't deal with any of that nonsense. I don't deal with I'm not beholden to the insurance companies. I'm not beholden to medical establishments or pharmaceutical companies or any of that nonsense. I work for you. I'm beholden to you. You pay me. I work for you. My goal is to help you get better in whatever that takes. And so when I work with one-on-one with people, we're all in. I'm all in with them. They get my personal cell phone number. They get my email address. We're in this group here. I have other groups just for my patients only. So that's why your doctor doesn't know this stuff. They're practicing medicine from a long time ago that they learned a long time ago. They're very resistant to the change. They're not keeping up with the new stuff. And when they do learn about new stuff, they're not changing their ways. They don't want to admit they're wrong, right? Ego even. They have no financial reason to be a better doctor to help you because they're going to get paid either way. It's human nature. So that's why you guys keep going to your doctors over and over and over and over again and get the same line of bull and get the same treatment over and over and over again. And it's not working. It doesn't help. Synthroid's been around for a very long time, gang. And that's been the only treatment for hypothyroidism in this country for a very long time. It's got to change, guys. If you're going to get better, it's got to change. That's why this group exists. That's why I exist. It is the mission. It's why I am so passionate about this and I'm banging on the drum all the time. And it's why I run this group. And it's why I answer all your questions. And it's why I have a YouTube channel. And I appreciate you guys supporting me in that because the rising tide lifts all ships. I want to thank you for tuning in to Hashimoto's Unfiltered, Real Talk, Real Solutions. Again, my name is Dr. Ray Benedetto, and I hope today's episode helped to give you the tools and the insights you need to take another step forward on your Hashimoto's journey. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode if you think someone could benefit. You can also connect with me on Facebook at Dr. Ray Benedetto and on my website, drraybenedetto.com, for more resources and updates. Until next time, remember, you're not alone and real solutions are always within reach. Take care and be well.